Well, as the deer hunting gun season comes to a close in Wisconsin and Minnesota, both states reporting an increase in deer harvest. While many save the venison for themselves, others donate it. Jeffrey McClure joins us in studio to tell us about a donation program through the Wisconsin DNR. Jeffrey?
Yes, Laura, since 2000, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources has been accepting donated venison from hunters. The donations are then given to partners in the community, such as local food pantries and charitable organizations. For Hirsch Meat Processing in Poplar, Wisconsin, portions of their donations have gone to the Rural Care and Food Shelf, which supplies the donation centers in Poplar and Iron River. Clyde Hirsch and his brother Rob have worked as meat processors since 1998, and since the beginning of the program have been the only processors enrolled in Douglas County. Hirsch says some people donate simply because their freezers are full, while others donate because they like the sport and don't eat the meat.
Extremely happy to get it. As soon as we call them, normally within a day, they're here to pick it up so they can get it distributed. And they actually have people that wait for it. They're real excited to get the fresh venison.
Hirsch mentioned this year, despite a 5% increase in the deer harvest, he hasn't seen an increase in deer meat donations. Right now, they have about 300 pounds of venison donated, which averages to what they see each year. As of now, they will be accepting more deer until bow season ends on January 5th. For more information where you can donate in Minnesota, head to northernnewsnow.com.
Jeffrey, thank you.